Welcome to the Polaris Adventures Podcast. I'm your host, Jared Christie. Winter is done, spring is wrapping up, and that means summer is right around the corner. And for a big chunk of the country, that means the off-road season is here. Maybe you've got a big trip planned later this summer, but you're itching to get outside right now. If that's the case, then sometimes it's best to start the year with a ride right in your own backyard. So today, we're off to northern Minnesota. Please welcome to the show, Melanie Weaver of Up North Outfitters in Park Rapids, Minnesota. Melanie, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. People from Minnesota might say, that's way up there.
Yeah.
Tell me where Park Rapids is located.
We are about 2.5 hours south of the Canadian border, about 90 miles east of Fargo. So about 3 hours north of the Twin Cities area.
Probably the most well-known attraction in your area is Itasca State Park and the headwaters of the Mississippi River. Yep. What's cool about that is you can actually walk across the point where the river starts on just a handful of rocks. I'm guessing you've probably done that a few times.
Time or two. Yep.
Is that a thing? Is that why people go there?
Yes. Yep. There's a marker there that tells you kind of some history on the starting point. And if you don't want to try and walk across the rocks, there is a log, that kind of a small log bridge that they have. You can walk across there on that.
Some local knowledge from Melanie right there. Now, hundreds of thousands of visitors come to Itasca each year, and downtown Park Rapids is probably just 20 minutes from the state park. You've got a main street and a pretty lively downtown during the summer.
We do. Every Thursday night, we have a band on what we call the 2nd Street stage. And they block off 3 blocks of Main Street, and you can set your chair up and listen to a band. One thing that Park Rapids is known for is their downtown parking, where you can park in the middle of the street.
Now, is it parking spots or is it just park right wherever you want?
Parking spots. Yep. And so you park there's 2 lanes down in the center that you park, and then off to the side, there's parking as well. So lots of stores to visit.
I've driven down that street, and I think my first time I was like, is this legit? Can I actually park here in the middle of the street?
If you're not used to it, it's hard to navigate a little bit. You get kind of shocked when people just start walking out from behind vehicles.
Now, with all that going on in the summer, does Park Rapids make for a great weekend escape?
It does. We have lots of lakes up here. People just love to come and get away and enjoy nature.
So those are just a couple of fun reasons to visit Park Rapids. But if you want to talk about all the riding opportunities in the area, I don't think people realize how much off-roading you can do.
No, we have several state forests. There's 4 of them that surround us, and lots of riding. You can be on different trails and not ride the same trails on a weekend.
You guys call it the off-road triangle. Tell me what that is and what that means.
So off-roading triangle have, like I just said, state forests that are on every side of us. You can pretty much get where you want to be.
You guys have over 200 miles of rideable trails, and much of it is in the Paul Bunyan State Forest. Paul Bunyan is a pretty familiar name here in Minnesota, but maybe not everyone knows about the forest. What's the riding like?
We have a mix of wooded terrain, some sandy soil, lowlands. I was just kind of doing some research before we got on here, and Paul Bunyan State Forest alone has over 400 lakes and ponds. Of course, not all are accessible, but you can see many of them from the trails. We do have some that you can access fishing. Others you can only carry in and camp. That was kind of interesting.
I did not know that either. And that just immediately my brain went to the fishing side of things.
Yep.
But also you can probably park, walk to some of them, just bring some food, have a picnic. I mean, just kind of get lost a little bit.
You can. There's lots of places to fish, to swim, to bring a cooler and have a lunch by the lake. We haven't lost anyone yet, but yep, you can get lost and turned around up there. Thankfully, our machines have GPS, the ride command. So
yeah, for sure. Tell me some of the major spots people typically go.
One of the most commonly known, especially in Paul Bunyan, is Thorpe Overlook. It used to be an old fire tower. They've since taken the fire tower out, and they have created two different overlooks that you can see for miles. I mean, you can see to Akeley, Dorset, Nevis, Park Rapids. You can even see towards Emmaville and Lake George. So you can see pretty far when it's a clear day.
Are people surprised not only by that view, but the fact that you have those sort of elevation changes up there?
Yeah.
A lot of trails in northern Minnesota take you to remote lakes, like you mentioned, places maybe someone's never ever been. You mentioned getting lost or feeling like you're lost. Is that part of the experience?
I think so. People come up here to get away from the hustle and bustle. And when you get out into these wooded areas, it's you and Mother Nature. A lot of trails may look similar, but they're not. And they lead to a lot of different places.
I also would imagine that probably during the week and maybe even on weekends, you may not run into too many people on the trails.
During the weekdays, not really. Our population grows considerably on weekends. So you have a little bit more chance of seeing people, but there's so many trails to take an adventure on that, there's times that you just don't run into anyone. You feel like you've got the whole forest to yourself.
You've done a lot of riding up there. Is there a favorite spot that you like to go?
Thorpe Tower is it's amazing. It doesn't matter if you catch a sunset there, which is gorgeous, even a sunrise. And even on a good night, you could probably catch the Northern Lights.
One of the cool things about riding in Minnesota is the access, being able to get from town to town, or maybe even get some gas or something to eat and really run the tank dry and do that exploring.
Yeah. And we're fortunate that we've got so many trails that are in our area that it's easy to access those places to eat, to get fuel, and get right back on the trail.
With all the trails and remote spots, how handy is it to have that ride command in the machines?
It's really convenient for the people that don't know the area, that maybe want to explore, but don't necessarily want to have like a guided ride. They just kind of want to go on their own. So it also tells you where those spots are. So you kind of know, okay, I'm getting to the point where I might need some fuel. Let's kind of take this road instead. So really convenient for the people who are first timers. It's convenient even for those of us who have ridden these trails, because Mother Nature happens. Sometimes trails change.
Isn't that the truth? Now, where do most of your riders come from? Where do they live?
Most of our riders, they come from the surrounding states, but we have had people come from, I've met people from Texas. We even had Germany. We had a group of Ukrainian gentlemen that came for a day for fun. So it's just really, they come from everywhere. South Dakota, North Dakota.
Is that part of the fun for you, that someone's going to walk in through the door that you're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here?
It's so fun to see the excitement from people who are, at first they're hesitant, like, oh, I've never done this before. I've never experienced it. But then after they get off the trails and they're back in here, and just the pure excitement of like, that was amazing. Thank you for pointing us in this direction. So happy that we got to experience this. We'll be back again, that sort of stuff.
Up North Outfitters is just a few miles from downtown. When did you guys join the Adventures program, and how has that gone?
We joined Polaris Adventures in the winter of 2022. We started with snowmobiles, and then it was just a no-brainer for us to jump right into ORV.
How quick and easy is it for people to rent and then be on the trail?
Usually our machines are ready to go. So even if you don't have a reservation, you can, if you're passing by and you see the sign and it's like, let's go for an adventure, pull in, sign some waivers. We'll get you fitted for helmets and, a brief talk about safety and kind of the rules. And then you're on your way. You're on the trail within minutes.
Now, how true is this statement? The further north you go, the less people you.
Yes. Yep. We're not quite as far as some other outfitters, but it is pretty quiet up here.
Your season is about to kick off. How
It is.
excited are you?
We're pretty excited. I know we were getting some trails already pre-planned for customers. We're getting our monthly trail ride on the dealership side of us. We host a monthly trail ride starting in May, going till October. So we're getting those dates set. We have a lot of customers who will grab a machine and join us for those rides. So
what's your favorite time of year to ride?
Fall, definitely. Obviously, because no bugs, but with Thorpe Overlook and the different elevations, fall colors are just beautiful around here. So we have a lot of opportunities to travel these forest trails and see that.
I will say for the majority of people I talk to, yes, they're excited for the season when it comes around for sure. But boy, when fall comes, they just want to be outside every single day.
Yeah, we know what's coming.
That's true. Winter's always right around the corner. Well, Melanie, thanks so much for being on the show and enjoy your upcoming season.
Thank you for having me.
Be sure to like and follow the Polaris Adventures podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, and we will talk to you again soon. Remember, you belong out here.